All right, this is going to be a brief one, but I just want to explain to you that a slow website loses the customer before they ever see it. And just to introduce myself, I'm Sava from Ablingo. I'm the head of marketing. We work with a lot of service-based businesses that are local, and we basically help them market their business, get more customers, and have a more sustainable business in general. So most of the people who are looking for a service business are on a phone in the middle of a problem with 2 or 3 of your competitors open in other tabs. If your site takes a few seconds to load, a lot of them are gone before it finishes. And look, I want you to understand that speed is not the design detail. It's actual conversion. It helps you convert customers better. For lead generation sites, which is what a service business is, a research done by Portent found that a site loading in a second converts 3 times better than a site that loads in 5 seconds. So the fall off starts inside the first couple of seconds. Nobody is going to wait for a slow site anymore. They hit back and they call the next business on the list. So every second of load time, it costs you bookings, it costs you customers, it costs you leads. People treat speed like a technical nicety. It's one of the most direct levers on whether a visitor turns into a booking. Portent looked at this across lead generation sites, which is what yours is, and it found that a site loading in 1 second converts 3 times better. Out at 10 seconds, it's 5 times better. That's the same traffic and the same offer. A faster site just turns more of it into bookings. And the fall off of conversion rate, it starts inside just the first couple of seconds, and it's well before a website looks obviously broken. So it holds at the small end too. Google and Deloitte studied 30 million sessions across 37 brands in a report called Milliseconds Make Millions. And it found that improving mobile load by 1/10 of a second increased conversions about 8%. So you could see how much of a drastic increase that is. Simply making your website load just slightly faster will make you get more customers in the long term. A faster site turns more of the same traffic into bookings. Nothing else about the business has to change. Your visitor is about as impatient as people get. Those numbers are an average across every kind of website. For a local service business, the effect is worse because of who's looking and when. You obviously know the intent of the people who are looking for your service. Someone who's searching for emergency HVAC has a furnace that quit. Someone looking up a dentist had a tooth bothering them for days or weeks. They're on the phone and they're not just browsing and window shopping. They're actively looking for people who can solve their problem in the cheapest way possible, in the fastest way possible, and as easily as possible in general. So if you have a slow loading website, it tells your potential leads whose patience is running thin that your business cannot help them fast enough. On mobile, it's worse again. Phones are slower than laptops, so mobile connections are spottier, and a heavy website that feels fine on your office desktop can take twice as long on a customer's phone in a parking lot using cellular data. So the desktop you built it on is not the device most of your customers are using. So your website might load fast on your home network where it has cache and all of that stuff, but on a customer who has spotty Wi-Fi, this is really important. So let me break down why your site is slow and what actually fixes it. Most slow websites are slow because of the same handful of reasons. But the most common one is images. Photos uploaded straight off of a phone or a camera at full size, several times larger than they need to be, reloading on every visit. After that, it's how the site was built. A lot of them are assembled on page builders that load a pile of code for effects that nobody notices. And for pretty much most builders, this code is not that important and it adds additional bloat. If you're on WordPress, if you add a few plugins and automate an autoplay background video, a chat widget, 3 tracking scripts, and a site that looks simple is downloading several megabytes before anything appears. And downloading several megabytes on a connection from a phone of a lead who's in hysteria about a problem they have. This makes a large difference. A site built lean loads fast and it stays fast. Most of them are not built lean. There's a second reason to care this year. Google uses page speed as a ranking factor through core web vitals. So a slow website doesn't only lose the visitor it gets fewer of them in the first place. The upside is that it's measurable. You can put your homepage into Google's page speed insights and you'll get a score out of 100 in about 30 seconds. Most of the sites that we check come back in the red, and most of the fixes are an afternoon of work, not a complete rebuild. So these are the things that are keeping your website slow, just summarized. You have oversized images, you have page builder bloat, you have autoplay video and widgets. You also have too many scripts potentially on there, which are like plugins. It's tracking and third-party tags that are stacked up over the years. A slow site costs you twice: fewer visitors from Google and fewer bookings from the ones who actually decide to open. I want you to start by testing it. Run your homepage through the Google's PageSpeed Insights website. And then I want you to do the audit. It checks your speed along with the rest of what decides whether a visitor actually books. So both of these things are free and it takes a couple of minutes. So I want you to do the audit real quick. Comment down below if you found something useful or interesting that you didn't know about your business before. And I hope this little bit of advice helps you with your business and helps you convert a bunch more customers. Honestly, speed is really overlooked when it comes to converting customers. And if you want to get a real edge, this is exactly what you should focus on. You don't even have to hire us. This stuff can be doable by yourself. But if you want us to help you with it, you could just book a call. I can leave a link in the description as well. And we could just show you custom how exactly we can fix this for you. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.